Sometimes in life, I find that if you don't know where to begin, it's better to just start. So that's what we're doing in today's episode. If you have maybe not heard, yesterday I decided to go to a CrossFit class, which actually turned out to be an unlicensed CrossFit gym. And the teacher was very encouraging of me to squat lower, and I'm not great at squatting, and I was holding a really heavy barbell, somewhere between 12 to 20 kilograms, and she kept on telling me to squat lower, and I kept telling her I was not capable of squatting lower, and then she said, "You're not gonna fall, you're just afraid of falling," and then she pushed me, and I fell on my butt, and the barbell landed on my neck. And then for some reason, I do not understand, she tried to hand the barbell to me, and then it landed on top of my head. So today I have been not really very focused. And so it's been a bit difficult for me to think of a good episode. Also, my Wi-Fi broke, and so I just have this hot spot, and also I've just been kind of sleeping around today, wondering if I should go to the doctor, but I'm feeling better, so it should be okay, and just not really motivated to go on Bumble. So the nice news is I have had some lovely dates. I finally went on a guy I met on finally went out with a guy I met on Tinder, and I'll tell you exactly what happened. As you know, I swiped through many profiles. I've been messaging all these guys and kind of getting nowhere with it. And then my good friend just came over and kind of swiped with me and said, "Hey, that guy looks nice." And so we went out, and it was good to have her encouragement. I really think that swiping with a friend is very valuable. And then the other thing is I interviewed Mina Yang, who's a relationship coach and hypnotherapist, and she pointed out that when I was swiping on Tinder, I was kind of looking more for things like career and looks, not character. And it seems kind of obvious you should be vetting for character, but it feels like on an app, it's hard. But if I'm really honest with myself, I was just being superficial. So I was kind of trying to get myself into the zone of like, how can I find character, good character, and integrity a little more sexy? I don't know if that makes any sense. So I didn't really use a specific technique, but I went on Bumble, and I was just kind of thinking, is this person possibly have a good character? And the other thing that Mina told me to do was to get off texting as possible. So I FaceTimed him, and it ended up being really great. He was so happy I did it. We went on a wonderful date. I really like him. We have another date planned. And then when he got home, he just sent me a text saying how much he liked the date. But then I haven't heard from him in 2 days. I haven't reached out to him either. And I would like him to reach out to me. Although right now I'm a little bit of an invalid. But then again, I know I can call him, but then there's all that fear around being the first person to call. Logic would say if you want to call. But I feel like I'm also just a bit tired of being the initiator in everything I do. But on the other hand, I've been listening to these podcasts about how women need to take the lead, because women are, in general, more qualified at navigating relationships and social things than men. And so it makes sense they would do that in a relationship. And I knew the guy was really nervous on a date with him, but I don't know, I think I just have this thing of, if he liked me, he'd be texting me every day annoyingly. So I asked myself, do I want to call him right now? The answer is I kind of don't, because my neck hurts. Oh. But on the other hand, I just wanted to come over and cuddle, but we only had one date. Also, he's a neurosurgeon, so I feel like that would be convenient for checking for a concussion. But it also feels too early to ask a neurosurgeon you just met to come over and check you for a concussion. But definitely handy to have around. I just really liked him. The conversation flowed nicely. He treated me to everything without he didn't even give me a chance to pay, which was really nice. He just went up before I could even think of it. He just was so conscious to see, keep my drinks flowing and keep me happy, and just nice, kind person. I just really liked him, and I really liked that I was attracted to someone like that. And what else? Okay, so what else do I want to say to you all of value? So I think that, having this CrossFit thing, non-CrossFit, fake CrossFit, barbell fall on my neck made me feel like, this is kind of the nice thing for having a partner around. I mean, I'm so lucky. One of my best friends is a doctor, and I call her for every minor ache and pain, and she's always so nice about it. And I was also thinking, oh my gosh, it just would be nice to have someone to come home to who can see if I'm okay and, make me food and take care of me instead of going to the coffee shop and asking the barista to look at my neck to see if it's swollen. I mean, the barista is not the only person I know. My two friends were working, but they would have come over if I asked. But I did ask 2 waiters to look at my neck. I mean, I'm friendly with them. The one I met today, honestly, I didn't know before, but she was happy to give me a medical checkup, the lady who worked at the smoothie store. But yeah, I mean, it's nice if you have someone who can just be there for you when you're not feeling well. I'm kind of thirsty. And this is some delightful chocolate flavored silky smooth soy milk. My bestie got me. It's called Alpro. Naturally low in saturated fat. What else is there to tell you? Okay, so, I think a lot of women don't realize how nervous men are on dates. We think they're just kind of waltzing in with all this bravado, but I think that a lot of men are truly terrified. And it's nice to remember that. I kind of like it when a guy's a little more scared because I feel like it matters to him. He's not a player necessarily. I don't know. What else? Love everyone. We had some weird stuff this week with a social media group we're part of, WhatsApp group, and some people were being mean to other people, and then it just really degraded into people just telling stupid jokes, and I left the group, and I realized, oh yeah, I was thinking about, okay, so the whole mission of this whole project is that I want to surround myself with people who have the situation I want, the situation I think I want. And so I had an awesome interview, and I still haven't been able to share it with you yet because it had a technical problem with a woman who met her husband in her 40s, and now she's pregnant. And it was so enlightening. I mean, her whole way that she recounted how she met him, how they decided to get married and have a kid. It was just, it's not what you hear in a Disney movie or romantic comedy, and it's just so useful to have that perspective of what's the path to true partnership. So there was a study that really stuck with me, and I can't find the exact source. If you know it, please find it. Is that a young girl who lives down the street from a woman entrepreneur is something like 10 times more likely to become an entrepreneur than a girl who doesn't live near a woman entrepreneur. And so, of course, there are different factors. Like, for example, if you live in a more affluent neighborhood, there's more likelihood to be entrepreneurs. And if you come from an affluent family, you might be more likely to be an entrepreneur. But I think there really is something to proximity, because also, when you look at something like the top podcasters, Lex Friedman, Andrew Huberman, Joe Rogan, what's his space, Peter Attia, they've all been friends for a really long time. I don't think they met just when they became podcasters. And so people kind of rise up in groups like that. And so I thought, okay, I feel like I've tried everything, but something I truly have not tried is just surrounding myself with women. You know, a lot of my friends are single. I don't even really have that many guy friends. And what would happen if I surround myself with women who met their partner in their 40s and had great marriages and even kids? Maybe I would start to kind of absorb some of their qualities. And then also by that note, I want to surround myself with people who are ambitious, loving, warm, happy, all those good things. Okay, what else do I have to offer you today? Well, I've been wanting to talk about nutrition for a while, and I know that as we get into January, a lot of people, some of the mental health issues become more exacerbated. This is not a nutrition tip, but I find on cold and blustery days, on rainy days, it can change the whole nature of your day if you just get outside in the beginning of the day. And in the Waldorf technique, they say there's no bad weather, only bad clothing. So if you're struggling with depression, try to just get up, get some really warm clothes, a raincoat, and just go outside and walk for 30 minutes or go to the gym and get that cardio going, and you find it will change the whole nature of your day to get exposed to sunlight. Or move to a sunny place like me in Split. But even in Split, there gets very intense winds. They call it Bura. And then the Bura blows. Well, sometimes it's blowing so much you just cannot go outside, but I do try to get out there, and it really has made my life here much, much happier. So the second tip that I want to offer you all is, I have some lemons. My landlord brought me these beautiful lemons. Can you see? Yeah, beautiful lemons actually from the tree outside. They're so good. I just love fresh fruit and vegetables. See this whole bag of lemons? Oh, so delicious. Okay, my loves. So that's the one thing, sunlight. Second thing, try if you can to start your day with some lemon water, a little bit of sea salt for your electrolytes, and drink that liter of water every day. Very good for the skin too. Probiotics. After I did IVF, I didn't understand why I didn't have the same willpower as I usually do. And even some of my teeth were getting cavities, and I started taking probiotics, and it just, my willpower, my joy, my zest came back, the gut. Try to cut out alcohol, because even if you're not an alcoholic, what I find with alcohol is if I drink every day, I start to get gradually more and more anxious and depressed. And if you are struggling with depression, it can really, really help to cut it out altogether. And not 1 glass a day, but just gone. Okay? But start with adding instead of subtracting. Then I would say, you know, even if you're trying to lose weight, I would say just put a bunch of greens inside of a smoothie blender. I get a whole carton of spinach, and I just mix it with, you can put something sweet if you like blueberries or maple syrup, but you could also just put soy sauce, garlic, ginger, mix it all up, drink it. You don't even have to make a juice, and that's gonna taste either delicious to you like it does to me, or not so great, but not horrible. And just flushing your systems with those greens. I mean, I cannot believe it. I've been doing that 2 or 3 times a day. I haven't gotten sick once this winter. It's crazy. And one time I was going around New York City as a tutor. I mean, just in the living rooms of all of these kids coughing on me and mucus running all over the place. Not sick once. I was drinking 2 or 3 green juices a day. Other thing, and I know people don't like to hear this a lot, is I would really consider taking a break from gluten. I know we all love our bread, but it can make you a little bit depressed. And it just is interesting to experiment with what happens if you take it out. Just add back in some rice and all those good veggies. So lots of greens, water with lemon and salt. Get your veggies, just put them in a blender with anything. I just mix all kinds of things in my blender. Garlic with the peel, ginger. And yeah, or just see a nutritionist or do some cleanse. And I think that, I mean, I can lay out a cleanse. Essentially, it's basically cut out alcohol, caffeine, gluten, meat. And then really just put tons of stuff in. Put in tons of spinach and kale and healthy fats, olive oil, tahini, and it's so delicious, and you're gonna feel so good in your brain. So if you've been trying to deal with your mental health through therapy, just consider nutrition as a key, please. All right, what else? I really hope that things work out with this guy because he's really nice and I like him and I think he likes me too. And it would be nice. I haven't really been on the apps because I dropped a rod on my neck. I'm mad at myself that I haven't gotten more work done today. And that's challenging for me because I have to remember I'm not feeling well and it's normal not to be able to work well when you're not feeling well, but it's a bit stressful. And I mean, even more than dropping the rod, I think what happened is it just stunned my body. And so I've been lying down and kind of trying to process the trauma of it. Like, it just really put me in fight or flight mode, and I think my whole back is still kind of clenching in fear. So yeah, but now some of my resting has been really relaxing actually. Even I've been feeling more relaxed than I have in a long time, because I can get like, so wound up that just the slightest noise sends this almost spasm of fear through me. So that's it. I mean, Mina told me to scale back, and when I'm starting to feel better, I have some really awesome interviews lined up, so I'm really looking forward to that. I have a couple male dating coaches that are going to be on the show, some relationship coaches, matchmaker, really famous matchmaker coming up, and I think it's going to be really exciting. But today is, I guess, a day of rest. So this is definitely a weird episode. I hope you got something out of it. But the most important thing is that I made a commitment to do this podcast every day, and I showed up for you and for myself. So bravo. Thanks for being here.